in some ways or really battling it and be okay, that's like huge in itself. But then the clarity that it gave me for just like releasing brain fog, being creative again, and just being more clear, and it's amazing because this is the only thing I changed. So it's not, oh, I detoxified from coffee or whatever, so that was it. No, it was this plant.
Welcome to the Miracle Plant Podcast, the show that inspires, promotes, and gives you a daily dose of inspiration from the people who have used cannabis to change their lives in extraordinary ways. Here's your host, Justin Benton.
Welcome to the Miracle Plant Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. This week we have an incredible story from an amazing guest to tell all about her story and how this miracle plant helped her with her challenges that she was facing. So welcome to the show, Miss Jennifer Gitomer. How the heck are you doing?
Justin, what's going on?
I am just so thrilled to have you on our show. I have known for years just that you would be the perfect person if we could just somehow get the stars to align. And boy, they sure did. It's so exciting to hear that you've been able to try our products for a couple of years now. And I'm just so happy to have you on here because you have such an incredible story and you have such enthusiasm and such a gift for explaining to people how some things can help them. And I know I've seen you on some other products and things that you really fall in love with and align with you. And first of all, just want to welcome you to the show and maybe tell us a little bit about your background and as far as health and wellness and all that good stuff goes.
Yeah, sure. My background as it relates to health and wellness, I'm not entirely sure. I should take better care of myself. But then again, shouldn't we all? Sometimes we forget to focus in on ourselves. And it's not until there's an issue that we go then to fix that issue rather than preempting it with whatever we can so that there are no issues. At least that's what I've done for me. I'm pretty athletic. I'm into sports. I do the Peloton. I play tennis. Like from a working out perspective, I actually like to do it. So it's easy to do. From a figuring out what helps me function on a day-to-day basis perspective, I've always had some struggles because starting in high school, I actually think it came after one of those mandatory, I don't want to say the word because I don't want Facebook to ban the video, but one of the things that they put in your arm that they make you take when you're a child and all throughout your life, even now. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure it came from that. And I started to get these debilitating headaches. And it actually wasn't until last year that I really even spoke about the headaches because they were so debilitating that for I don't know, maybe a week at a time, I would be down for the count, literally a week a month. And so now imagine being out of being able to do normal activities, but you consider yourself a high functioning person. But for 12 weeks a year, when it's all added up, I have 12 weeks less a year than the average person because I literally couldn't function for each of those weeks every month because of these headaches. And I didn't know what to do. I went to France and discovered that their Advil was actually stronger than our Advil and faster acting. And I was hoarding boxes back here, so afraid that I was going to be caught by French customs that I was taking them out of the box. And putting them in different suitcases because I'm maybe if I split them up, they won't notice. And meanwhile, it's just Advil. It's just Advil. That's really all it was. And so that's a little bit about my health story. I don't know if that's where you wanted me to take it. Hey, guys.
Absolutely. Again, I when we first started discussing this, and I'm really grateful that you came on to share your story. So many people don't understand that there are healthier alternatives than taking over-the-counter prescription pills and things of that nature, that there is a plant out there that helped our son with a neurological issue, and we believe the same things that happened to you happened to him. And so we were looking for a way to help clean up the mess. He had a regressive diagnosis of autism, and his body was not able to detoxify. And so there was heavy metals and pesticides, and his neurotransmitters were just gummed up. And so that's neurological. And in fact, in 1936, before they passed the Marijuana Tax Act, doctors in the United States wrote 2.3 million prescriptions for things like migraines. And when they passed the Marijuana Tax Act, which was political and should never have been done, but they did it by coming out with movies like Reefer Madness and all this propaganda. Exactly. And so the American Medical Association, the AMA, the Doctors Association, came to the Congress after they passed this bill and said, guys, you didn't even consult with us. This is one of our main tools in our toolkit to help our patients. And now we cannot prescribe something that was working and had no side effects, essentially. So yes, and then somehow after we had gotten to know each other a little bit better, I think it was either you or your husband, Jeffrey, that said, could this maybe help with a migraine? And I said, absolutely.
I was like, wait, can this bottle, like this thing of magic here, could this help my headaches? Yep. And you were like, yeah. I'm like, no, you don't understand, Justin. Yep. Like, I get headaches. And most people don't even know because I don't want to complain about them. And I try to get through the day with a migraine. Most people go lay down when they have a migraine. And I had just not allowed myself to do that. I just was like, toughen up, Jen. You got to do this anyway. And was just trying to live through it and work through it. And people who knew me well knew, oh, she has a migraine right now. Let's not ask her anything important. But other people would have me making really big decisions because I would I would choose to continue putting myself in that situation until literally, and I almost feel like this is a commercial, but it's not meant to be. It's just really like my story, but it feels like a commercial because anyone listening who has migraines can relate and can understand the depth and severity that it just takes you out. And so knowing that like, at this point, what do I got to lose? Like, I'm poisoning myself with Advil. So to try and combat these headaches. So what do I have to lose? Let me try something natural. And at first it tasted funny, like a little bit, but then Justin had all these different flavors and I found one I liked. Mm-hmm. And he sent me this, Justin, you sent it. I don't know. I feel like it arrived the next day somehow from California. It arrived so fast. And you sent me some extra strength one that was specific to what I needed. And it helped. It's insane how much it helped. There are months now that I don't even have a headache. And I'm like, I got to do stuff the whole month and not even worry about it.
And that was incredible. And I'm so happy that helped. And it's because we'll have people that'll come see us like one of our retail locations, and they'll come in for anxiety or what have you, and they will come back next month and then they'll ask and they'll be like, that stuff's great, it really helped with my anxiety and stress. Does it also get rid of migraines? Because I haven't had any migraines.
It is so crazy. And so then actually, you don't know this, but you've gotten me on this like very natural path. I'm trying to get rid of all of the products in our house that have chemicals, and even the Advils and all the things, just so that we can really try more natural solutions. And even all my skincare, I'm trying to go all natural, not like all natural, like this is the face I was born with. I still have makeup on. I'm using stuff that you make and other makeup lines so that it's more natural, because I just feel like we don't pay attention to what we're putting in our body and what we're putting on our skin. And it was a really big wake-up call for me when, not to sound gross, but when I switched over my deodorant. Like, there was a week-long process to switch over from store-bought deodorant that most everyone on our planet buys to a non-toxic chemical deodorant. And I know sorry if it's TMI, but you have no idea. Like, this not only got me to get rid of my migraines, but I feel like it's awakened me to think more clearly and to really consider all the things that we're actually putting in our body.
Absolutely. And the deodorants have like a lot of aluminum in there.
Isn't that crazy?
You're rubbing aluminum under your arm where your lymph nodes are. And it's just, yeah. And I'm really glad you shared that. And by the way, happy birthday, Tom. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy birthday, Tom.
And it's one of my favorite things about paying it forward for what this plant did for our family and paying it forward and helping yours and your family is that it's an awakening for a lot of people where it's like, okay, this is exactly like you described. It empowers people to take back control of their health. What else can I do? And maybe I should go for that walk or drink that water or whatever, or eat one more salad, whatever it is.
Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to have Chick-fil-A. Okay. Yeah. And I'm still going to eat like things that maybe people wouldn't consider the best for you, but I'm going to do that 5 or 10% of the time. And 90% of the time, I'm going to be paying attention to put skincare on my face that is from a plant. And really, you guys, these companies trick you. They put stuff like I could really go on a rant about this, and I'm going to try and stay toned down because it's so maddening. But like Mrs. Myers or whatever, it looks so clean and green. No, it's not. Okay. There's so much chemicals. Like Justin, literally, he shows you all of his ingredients that's in his stuff, and it's the actual plant. Justin, do you add stuff to this to get it to stay longer or whatever? No. So there's no preservatives. There's no chemicals like other companies do. And not just to CBD, to everything.
Absolutely. And because you're a Francophile and love to travel to Paris, and I'm sure that'll be coming as soon as you can for you and Jeffrey to get back over there. But when you go look at the cookies and you look at the ingredients and it says sugar, it says eggs, it says flour. And all of those ingredients are listed there and you can literally read them. Whereas when you look at some Chips Ahoy cookies or something off of our shelves, it'll be a paragraph of words you have to have a doctor in to actually pronounce.
What are those long names? What is that?
Scary preservatives and scary fillers and things that are not good for our bodies. If it doesn't grow out of the earth, our bodies don't know how to receive it. And that's a big part of the problem with our country, especially, is the foods that we eat are the most overprocessed, and our bodies are our bodies are really great at detoxifying and healing ourselves. But if you're constantly giving yourself things that are breaking your body down or making your liver and kidneys work overtime, then at some point your bodies can't win that fight. So making those better. There's products that are sold here in the United States that France won't put on the shelves. They just won't do it. Like high fructose corn syrup and all those types of things. It's just not a part of they actually have done the research and care more about their people than the big food companies out there that force these products under our shelves. But like I said, we could go on all kinds of tangents. And the good news is that by trying a simple product like our healthy, simple cold press product, it enlightens you to look around and see what other choices that you can do for yourself too. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just going to your France comment just for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I have had friends tell me that they are gluten-free, allergic, cannot have bread, whatever. And then they get to Paris and they're eating the bread like every day. And I'm like, I thought you're allergic. Oh, I'm not allergic in Paris. Okay, so it's not the gluten, but it's something that we're putting in our breads. So that's interesting. And then my French friend, one day she saw me eating one of those bars. So like because in America, like everything's supposed to be fast and on the go and get it quicker and whatever. And she saw me eating one and she was laughing. And I'm like, why are you laughing? She goes, because every time I see one of those in France, which is rare, I think of America. I think of Americans. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, so taking this every day has literally given me more than my life back. Just the fact that I can work 4 weeks a month if I wanted to, or I could take off a week a month because I'm used to working 12 weeks less than the average person in some ways, or really battling it and be okay. That's like huge in itself. But then the clarity that it gave me for just like releasing brain fog, being creative again, and just being more clear. And it's amazing because this is the only thing I changed. So it's not, oh, I detoxified from coffee or whatever, so that was it. No, it was this plant.
That's the coolest part of my profession or what I do for a living, is that I get to be a part of the solution for other people that helps them live a healthier, happier life. Is the first time that we discussed this, it just dawned on me, was that you put on a picture on Instagram and at Jen Gitomer, for all of you listening. And it was, you had came home, you were playing tennis, and you had a whole bunch of like products that you went to like Target or wherever, because you were in pain, your back was hurting. And I was like, I think I texted you or emailed you or hit you up on Instagram and said, hey, Jen, those products that I've been sending your way, give those ones a shot. So if you remember that story.
It was so funny. So I was in back pain for days as I pulled something playing tennis. And I'm like, okay, let me try as naturally as possible. And that didn't work. I tried like ancient bath salts. I tried Epsom salt. No. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to try icy hot or whatever that stuff is. That's probably really bad for you in the long run and like total poison. That's how I think of things now. They're either clean or they're poison. And I'm so sorry if like you're not awake to this level and you're listening to this podcast, because this might, or this Facebook Live, because this might be like, you either are going to think I'm crazy, or you're going to go back and think I'm crazy and research it and then be like, damn, that girl was right. Who was she? I want to learn more. So you can always DM me on Instagram to chat about it, because it's like my newfound passion. But so I took a picture of my cart of, look at all the things I'm trying, you guys. I'm going to have a good back in a couple of days. Like, it's going to happen. And Justin messages me and he's, did you try our, what is it called, Justin?
The roll-on? Was it the roll-on?
Yeah, the pain relief one. Did you try the roll-on pain relief? And I'm like, no. Let me try that. And in one day, all the pain was gone. Like, all
Isn't
the pain
that crazy?
was gone. I'm like, was this a miracle? What just happened? So now it's insane. It is so insane. And then in the morning when I wake up and I take the sales boost, it actually helps me focus. So there are days where my team will be like, Jen, you're on fire this morning. What's going on? And I'm like, oh, I remembered to take my CBG. Because that one's the G.
Heck yeah. And I know we're doing something with Jeffrey later on to bring that out to the public. With the sales boost. Yes. We've pre-sold a couple to some insiders, and everybody loves it because the CBG helps with mental clarity, focus, and energy, and based on what everyone tells us. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Justin, I never knew that you hear about these people who do natural stuff, and I was never one of those people. And I don't even really consider myself one of those people now, even though to the average person, I'm getting into oils, figuring out which essential oils and making sure they're clean straight from the plant, no additives, which essential oils can fix which things to rely on your products for. Like, why don't more people do this? Why don't more people know? Like, I'm telling you, like, when I say I'm replacing our household cleaning supplies, everything from laundry detergent and dryer sheets, which are horrible for you, who knew, to dishwasher detergent, to cleaning materials, to you name it. Like, it is all, as soon as the last bottle is over, we get Thieves or something that is an oil-based cleaner with no additives. But why don't people know about this? Why is this hidden?
The simplest answer is that the products are made, if you're making a product that your only intention is making profit, then that's how some of these products are made. And if you're not, the main answer is the reason that why people don't know is because who's going to tell them, right? Where along the process are you going to be told that you even have an option? So again, this comes down to empowering yourself by maybe taking a natural product, listening to a podcast like this, and beginning to have someone ask you the question to be like, do you know what's in your ingredients? I think so many of us have been trained in America or conditioned to just believe whatever we hear from whoever the experts are. If no one's really keeping the experts' feet to the fire or any kind of checks and balance with that, then some people who are in power can make some decisions that are based on things that don't have your best interest in at heart. And so that's why we'll see a lot of people when they start to looking at the ingredients. And I always encourage everybody, don't take my word for it. Go do your own research and go dig a little bit deeper and find out for yourself. And because I think a lot of people think, you know what, the government would never let something that would hurt me or my family be on the shelves. And unfortunately, that's not the case. And it's not about government and things of that nature. My point is that you need to take personal responsibility for your own decisions that you make. And a lot of people don't know, but it's like you start to go down the rabbit hole and you're like, so wait a second, why is aluminum bad to put on my armpits every single day? And you know what I mean? And because again, you're just sitting there thinking, why would someone allow someone to put heavy metals in a product that has direct access to our pores, the most, absorbent organ of all of our body, the skin? And again, it is scary. And I don't know how that happens. The good news is we have shows like this. We have platforms like this. We have products that you can try inexpensively to see the difference for yourself. And I know there's more shows like Dr. Oz and a couple other ones that are at least opening up some discussion. And that's why I wanted us to have this conversation and talk, because we do align on so many of these topics where it's, look, people, just stop, do your own research and see for yourself why you're doing what you're doing. And that goes with everything. So that's awesome that you're getting some new household products. What did you find, a brand or something that worked best for you guys?
Yeah, I work with, I had always been somewhat interested in Young Living essential oils. And then I became a reseller because I'm really passionate about it. And for example, this morning I made my smoothie. And then when I was done making my smoothie, instead of using dishwasher detergent, like Joy or dish soap, to clean out the smoothie thing, I'm just drop in some drops of essential of Thieves, which is the best smelling essential oil on the planet. Because I'm I don't know, let's see if it cleans it. It's antibacterial, it's antimicrobial, I can't say that
microbial
word.
Yeah, it's
microbial. So it has cleansing properties and it's not bad for you. So why would I want to go and put chemical stuff into the container in which I'm going to eat out of again tomorrow? To me, it doesn't make sense. And so between your stuff and Young Living, I've been able to find such a wide array of stuff that I could ever need. And my deodorant is called Zen Pits.
Cool. I use Tom's right now, and we've did some research and development on releasing our own deodorant here. So down the road, we likely will, and some others have. We just have so much going on. That one hasn't made it out on the shelf yet. But speaking of new products, I know. Yeah. So then after you had tried the roll-on that helped with the pain, and then you tried the stronger.
I have it right here. So I tried the Raw Renew. And can I show them the inside?
Please do.
Okay. So it looks like this. It's like a palm, like a butter.
Yep.
And it says it's mango butter, which I am allergic to mango. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could try this. I'm allergic to mango. I love mango, but it doesn't love me. And somehow putting this on my skin, I don't know if you could tell, but my skin is just so smooth from using this stuff. And I use it every day, whether or not I wear makeup. And then when I do wear makeup, it helps the makeup stick so that it literally stays on all day. It's like a primer, but better than a primer, because a primer is actually not usually good for you. This is like an all natural primer. And even if I don't wear makeup, it just makes my face look glowy. And so I love it. I'm hoping it'll get rid of my wrinkles. I have a few up here. Really telling all on this is like a Jen tell-all today, because I'm afraid of needles, so I'll never do Botox or anything like that. But if you could do a wrinkle remover, that would be great next. That's
what we're working on. So here's the new product here. So this is the Miracle Plant, and it's the Raw Renew, but it's coming out released as the Miracle Plant. And Jen and I are going to be putting together an amazing offer for everybody who wants to try it. So if you do want to try this, just go down in the comments and just put in Raw Renew or Jen, and we will make sure to send you the offer when it comes out. And we're also working on some other projects. One of them is an eye serum that is going to help out with the crow's feet and all those types of things. So that one's in the process. We hope to have that out within the next month or two. So there's going to be some really cool offers, and we're going to throw a whole bunch in and make it an irresistible offer. And you guys can try it and see for yourself how these products helped you, because I know that we've had just my wife, Molly, and all of her friends, they've told me they've spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to get their skin to look better, or especially because we're in our early 40s and right around that 40 numbers where things maybe could use a little help wherever we could get it. And one particular friend, her name was also Jen. She was like, oh my God, I don't even want to tell you how much I've spent to get my skin to look a little bit better because just some things happening. And she said she tried the Raw Renew and she said, this is the only thing that actually worked. And
that's crazy or what?
And that was another one of those signs to us, like, okay, we really need to relaunch this, rebrand it, just get it out there so people can get it. We were just featured in the Los Angeles Tribune, and there's a press release out. If you go to our website, check that out. And then we're going to do a big thing here with Jen because she's had so much success in so many of our products. It's time that we team up and get out there and share her story. And we haven't even talked about the dogs yet. We can get to the dogs here soon.
Oh my goodness. I just want to say this because I told you I got into oils.
Yep.
And the Raw Renew has frankincense in it. And I love the smell of frankincense. I put it in my diffuser now with some other oils, usually a blend, but it's just so calming. And maybe it does this calming thing to your face too. I don't know. But just the scent of it is has a very calming property.
Absolutely. So Scott signed up, and for everyone who's watching this, if you are a woman, definitely get it. Some of us men over 40 could use a little help too, but I tell you what, it's a great gift for the wives and for the significant others in your life.
And just for the record, I'm not yet 40, which presents a problem because I can't play on the 40 and over tennis team. And so Jeffrey asked me if I'd be providing a fake ID. Which is hysterical because most people want a fake ID for the opposite reason. And I'm like,
that's too funny. That is too funny. And yeah, again, I'm so glad that we're getting a chance to share your stories. You have so many incredible stories to share. And just think of how many millions and millions of other people out there, just in the US alone, can have hope to try something out there that could help them with whether it's just the anti-aging properties of our products, or if it's for migraines or for the pain. And look at all of the things that these things have done. It's pretty crazy.
Scott, your wife is going to love this. Your wife is going to love this.
Exactly. And we'll put the comments down there as well. But like I said before, not only has it helped you and your family, is your dogs, your Cavaliers. And
yeah. So I don't know if you have a dog, but not you, Justin, but your listener. Dogs typically get scared when there's thunderstorms and lightning and fireworks and stuff like that. You should be gearing up. I know it doesn't feel like it's coming soon, but the 4th of July is actually right around the corner. Okay. Time flies and you need to be prepared. And so I give my dogs a little canine CBD from Justin's company, from 101 CBD. And it's amazing. They just chill. They're so chill. They're not worried. They're not anxious. If we do go out for a little bit, we don't feel bad because they're just calm as a cucumber and just relaxed. And so it's just been amazing. And Charlie is like my soul dog. I don't know if anyone else gets that on this level, but she literally feels my feelings as a dog. Okay, so if I'm sad, she's sad. If I'm excited, she's excited. She is like the exact replica of me, except right now she's sleeping. So I can't, it's not all the time, but it's 90% of the time. And she was limping one day and I gave her a little CBD and it helped ease that pain. And so I don't know, there's something to be said about this plant and fixing things naturally. And we want things so fast in our society, but fast doesn't mean better, and fast doesn't mean we're going to live longer. Whereas if you just allow this plant to work, and it doesn't mean it's going to be slower, it just might take, if your body's, detoxifying a lot of chemicals, it may take a little time for it to really feel the effects. I felt those migraine effects right away, but then I got to a point where I could prevent the migraine. Then I got to a point where I actually could lift the brain fog. Then I got to a point where I started to become more awakened and started to see through all the BS and the propaganda of what most commercials out there and news and everything tries to sell us in the mainstream. And it was a stage thing. It wasn't like day one, I took a little drop and magic potion, Jen's all good now, awakened. No, it was a very gradual thing that happened over time.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm just so happy that it helped and that you didn't even know I remember when we were talking about it, you're like, that there could be hope for you. And that's one of the best things.
I thought I was going to have migraines for at least a week a month, every month for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And that's us paying it forward. We were so happy. I mean, we were still praying and we hadn't lost hope, but we were very in a bad place. But we found this plant and cold pressed it. And that's what made it work for our son and get him over the hump and off the spectrum. And you didn't even have hope. And then it was just a matter of us connecting and just suggesting that you try it.
I'm so grateful. It's why I want to share it with everybody I know, because everybody I know has something, a knee that hurts a little bit, a joint that hurts a little bit, arthritis, whatever, right? And the way you explain this to me so eloquently, Justin, is just that this really brings your body back to homeostasis, and it creates that balance within your body that we're all craving. And it's just been such a miracle for me that I never used to talk about my headaches or anything like that, but I want to tell the world now. And I want to share this with everybody, because if you know someone who's suffering, and it doesn't just fix that, it helps with so many different ailments. I pulled a woman off the tennis courts last week, and she said her husband was experiencing dizzy spells. And I said, hey, would it be okay if when I'm back in a week, I bring you some CBD? And she's like, he's tried everything, but he hasn't tried that. I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe it'll work. She's waiting for me to come back tomorrow so I can give her some, because I just want to share this with, like, why wouldn't I want to share it? It's amazing. So thank you so much, Justin.
Absolutely. And before we run, I do want to make sure everyone knows that Jen has a bestseller out there. It's called Sales in a New York Minute, and make sure to get everything in there. It is a wonderful copy, incredible insights. And Jen has an amazing balance of energy, of insights, of real world sales knowledge and expertise. Because if, just like Frank Sinatra said, if you can, maybe he didn't say it quite this way, but if you can sell in New York, you can sell anywhere.
That's right. If you can make it there, you can make the sale anywhere.
Exactly. So I do encourage everyone to run out and grab a copy of that. You can find her book on there, and her Instagram is the best place to find her, at Jen Gitomer for Instagram. We do have a promo code if you want to try that. It's Jen20 to save 20% off for now. But just make sure that you reach out to us about the Raw Renew, and we'll send you an offer that you'll just be blown away with some new products that were coming out. And so you can come on too and tell your story here on the Miracle Plant of how this incredible plant helped you. So again, Jen, thank you so much for coming on. And you've been such an inspiration. I'm so glad that we connected, and I'm so glad that I was able to just pay it forward and introduce this Miracle Plant to you, your family, your dogs, and everybody else. And it's just great having you on.
Thank you so much, Justin.
All right. We'll see everybody soon next week. Thanks for coming on to the Miracle Plant podcast. And if you want to be a guest, reach out to us and tell us your story. So until then, take care, everybody, and have a great week.